Welcome back. Here with the latest on headlines today. Now, trouble mounting for Congress President Sonia Gandhi's son-in-law and businessman Robert Vadra. Speaking exclusively to headlines today, Haryana Minister Ranil Vij said that prima facie it appears that the PAC draft report on alleged windfall gains to Vadra through land deals is correct. Vij said the Haryana government will forward the report to the Public Accounts Committee for action. According to the PAC's draft report, the Haryana government faces a loss of rupees 44 crores because of favours granted by former Chief Minister Bhupinder Singh Hooda to Robert Vadra. The Congress, though, has refuted these claims, calling it political vendetta. I would like to cut across directly to my colleague Ashish Mehrishi, who's getting us the very latest on the story. Ashish, can you break it down for us in terms of what Vij has said? How does it fructify into credible action that could be taken against Mr. Vadra?
Well, Preeti, if you see, you have to take a holistic view of the entire investigation. Now, the CAG is not investigating only on Robert Vadra's deals. It is basically on all the licenses issued by the state government of Haryana when Bhupinder Singh Hooda was the chief minister. There was a number of change of land use licenses that were issued. All are being in fact audited by the CAG. Now, as far as Robert Vadra's deals goes, if you remember, it was long back that this was revealed that land from Omkareshwar Properties was transferred to Robert Vadra's company Skylight Hospitality, and further it was sold to DLF. Now, if you remember, the transaction between Omkareshwar Properties and Skylight Hospitality was also under question for the reason because the corporate that was issued, that was only a book overdraft, which is it was not a legitimate transaction as the check was not honored. And in this case, with negligible cost, when the paid up capital of the company was only 1 lakh, the Haryana government issued the license, and not only that, then that land was sold for 57 crore rupees to DLF. So at negligible cost, where Robert Vadra took that land and sold it to DLF and made windfall gains. Then out of that 57 crores, the money that the profits that Robert Vadra made, this around 15% was supposed to be kept with him, and 85% was supposed to go to the state government, which did not go. So ultimately, we have to see when this the CAG report is tabled on the pedestal of the Haryana Assembly, and will the state government take this as an evidence? Because we have seen in the past that CAG reports, like in the 2G scam, in the coal scam, they have been used as evidence, and FIRs have been registered with the help of that evidence. Now it is expected, as our sources in CAG say, that this report on the change of land use licenses is anticipating a reply from the state government. Then the draft report comes to the central office of CAG, and finally it is tabled in the Haryana Assembly, which is expected around the mid of December. So certainly, if the state government uses this evidence, then Robert Vadra is going to face some trouble now.
Do stay on with us, Ashish. We just want to run our viewers through what Haryana Cabinet Minister Ranil Vij said to headlines today. Well, he did in fact point out that Vadra's VIP status cannot save him anymore. Let's listen into the reaction. We're going to cut across back to Ashish.
What's wrong with you?
नहीं, जांच होनी चाहिए, और जिस प्रकार से उन्होंने रिएक्ट किया उससे ये लगता है कि वो किसी न किसी बड़ी बात को दबाना चाहते हैं, उसको छुपाना चाहते हैं। नहीं तो वो इस अपॉर्चुनिटी का उनको फ़ायदा उठाना चाहिए था, अपना व्यू पॉइंट क्लियर करना चाहिए था और पत्रकार के प्रश्नों का उत्तर देना चाहिए था। आदमी तभी इस प्रकार से रिएक्ट करता है, गुस्सा करता है, जब वो किसी बात को दबाने की कोशिश करता है। नहीं, देखिए, हमारी सरकार, मैंने जैसे पहले कहा कि भ्रष्टाचार के मामले में किसी को भी बख्शने के मूड में नहीं है। इसलिए वो कोई भी हो, ये हमारे लिए फ़र्क नहीं पड़ता कि वो कोई बहुत बड़ा आदमी है जहाँ कोई छोटा आदमी है। अगर वो भ्रष्टाचार के मामले में संलिप्त पाया जाएगा तो मेरी सरकार उस पर बिना किसी संकोच के कार्रवाई करेगी, फिर चाहे वो कोई भी हो।
All right, let's cut across back to Ashish. Ashish, we were talking about the CAG report being used as credible evidence, and if the Haryana government would want to take it over. Now, taking off from what Mr. Vij just said, who is a cabinet minister, taking off from what Mr. Khattar, the minute he took oath, he did point out that he would take up the Vadra issue. There is clear trouble because it looks at the onset that the new government in Haryana is all set to investigate the Vadra issue.
Well, in fact, it was very interesting to see how the Haryana government proves, because as far as I remember, the same line was stored away by the Rajasthan government as well. And in similar case, there were violations by Robert Vadra's company in Rajasthan as well. But then there was no action. Let us see if Haryana government takes any action. We have to still see, because there is not only one. This is whatever has been talked about in the CAG report is only about one transaction, but there are various transactions. If you remember, we did a story on Headlines today proving on how there were colorable transactions where Robert Vadra and Priyanka Gandhi Vadra, they both bought properties under violating the Land Ceiling Act, and then the same properties were sold to the same person from whom they bought, which was actually being deemed as colorable transactions in income tax. So all these, there are various transactions by Robert Vadra's company in Haryana as well as Rajasthan. We still have to see how the investigation is done. Is it only the CAG which is going to find out about one or two deals, or is there going to be a special panel which is going to investigate other deals of Robert Vadra, or is it going to be investigated or not?
All right, appreciate you joining us, Ashish Merishi, getting us the very latest. We'll of course keep cutting across to him for